Hello friends, hope you're having a lovely start to your Saturday. I thought I would do another video. This one will be my Nonfiction November TBR. I've seen a lot of people have been putting these up over the past week, and so it's kind of inspired me to also join in and read some nonfiction in November, especially as I have a couple of books that I've been putting off for a long time. I know there's some great prompts, and the creatives, I believe, Bothwell was the original creator of Nonfiction November. I know they have some great prompts, and do for sure check those out if you're that kind of reader. But I'm definitely going for the more loosey-goosey approach of I have some nonfiction books I would like to read, and this is a great excuse to read them. So first off, I have The Penguin History of Canada, and I need to read this for two reasons. First off, I live here now, so I really need to know more about the history of Canada. I think it's very important to know kind of some general history, at least, about where you live. Having said that, though, my history of my knowledge of English history is quite abysmal, so I really need to rectify that too. And even worse, my knowledge of Scottish history is absolutely terrible. It's insanely terrible. So I definitely need to work on that too. But I'm pretty much stuck here, I guess, for the foreseeable future. I love Canada. I love living here though. So yes, definitely need to read this. But also, I mean, I need to read this because in 2023 is the first year that I'm eligible to apply for citizenship, and that's definitely something that I want to do sooner rather than later. And part of the citizenship is a test, and I believe history is part of that citizenship test. So I kind of want to I don't really want to have to study for it. I want to just have that knowledge already in my brain. And so yeah, Penguin History of Canada by Robert Bothwell, who I believe, at least at the time of writing, was working at the University of Toronto. I believe he was international relations director, and he's a renowned historian. But this is definitely going to be more Eurocentric, settler-centric kind of history of Canada, which is totally fine. Like it's not a slight. This book is what it is, and I'm sure it will give a very good overview, because I mean it's only like 500 pages long, like 570, something like that, pages long. So you can't cram a whole country, a couple of centuries of history into that and have any kind of in-depth. But like I said, it's a launching point to like hone myself into areas that I will be more interested in reading further about. So it's going to be more dealing with more like settler and Eurocentric, I think. And so to have a different perspective on North America, Canada, and USA, I'm gonna read The Inconvenient Indian by Thomas King. And I really need to read this. I've been wanting to read this for a long time now, but I keep recommending it to people, which is kind of terrible, recommending a book to people you haven't read. But I have a good authority that this is one of the books to read if you want to learn more about native people of North America. And if you want to, it's a very good starting point. And I heard it's like quite conversational, and so it's very easy to read, especially if you don't read a lot of nonfiction, and that it's also written by a native person. So, they're more popular, but I certainly know that a lot of the books about native people I've come across are not written by native people. They're very good still, nothing wrong with that, very well researched, but I think it's also nice to be able to read people talking about their own history too, especially people who have been oppressed and essentially have tried to be eradicated. I think it's very important to hear from them too, because you get a very different perspective. So those are the two that I must read by the end of this year. So I think 2 books is kind of doable for me, hopefully, even if I just solidly read one weekend, couple weekends. I think I can get through most of them. And as a treat, I guess, if I get through both of those, I will read John Prebble's Culloden. So that's a great bit of Scottish history, which I really need to know more. I need, especially a lot of the books that John Prebble wrote. The really, really big moments in Scottish history. So the ones I have are Culloden, the Highland clearances, which is also quite important history for Canada and North America, really, because the Highland clearances did cause a lot of Scottish migration, and so that really influenced a lot of countries, but I think particularly a lot of the Scots went to Canada and New Zealand. So yeah, very important. And then I think the last one I have is Glencoe, but I know he also wrote a couple other non-fiction books. I mean, I also have his I think it's a fictionalized account of the Taybridge disaster in Dundee. That one's a little bit more personal to me too, and I hope to read that soon. But yeah, very excited to get into John Prebble, who I believe was also one of those historians that kind of tries to really take the effects of major events, the effects that they had on just like regular people, just like the mass population. So like just doesn't just focus on the main famous big protagonists. So I quite like that kind of approach too. So yeah, very excited. This is a very nice Penguin edition. So yeah, I hope you're all excited for Nonfiction November and have your TBRs, and I look forward to watching more as it vastly approaches, and then hopefully the discussion around in November around the books. But yeah, let me know what you're planning to read in November, and hope you all have a great weekend.